I sleep with Jennifer on my right side and Victoria on my left side.
Oh, no. Oh,
And
my Lord. Now, joining us from Tulsa, Oklahoma, is Rocky. See, Rocky is embroiled in a paternity situation unlike any we've ever seen before. I might have said that before, but I'm telling you, we've never had a story like this. You see, there are these two women, Jennifer and Victoria, and Rocky finally calls them his sister wives. You see, Rocky's been in a relationship with both of them for the past 10 years. Together, they're raising 10 children. Now, the reason they're all here is because Rocky is not sure if he's the biological father of 4 of these kids. 3 of them that belong to Victoria, and 1 that belongs to Jennifer. So, Rocky, before we talk about the paternity, okay, I want to talk about what would we call your family dynamic with Jennifer and Victoria. I mean, you're not a polygamist. You don't consider yourself a polygamist, but you live this kind of polyamorous lifestyle. So why don't you explain it to me?
I mean, what can I say, Maury? I fell in love with 2 women, man. I'm addicted to women and fast cars, you know?
I see.
I'm just going to be honest.
But apparently it's just not these 2 women. I mean, you have what you call side pieces on top of that.
I call it my catch and release program, but I mean, that's just the way I look at it.
So then you come back always to these 2.
Yes, always. They'll forever be the loves of my life.
Okay.
I mean, as for Jennifer, man, I've been with Jennifer for 15 years. You know, 5 years into our relationship, we split apart, and that's where I got with Victoria. And me playing my little games, going back and forth, I ended up getting caught. You know, you could only be slick for so long.
So what you did was you said, okay, if Jennifer can handle this, why don't you, Victoria, come into our life? Is that it?
Kind of. It was actually vice versa. I was with Victoria. I had left Jennifer. So it was, Rocky, you're always going to keep on going back to Jennifer. I love Jennifer too. Why don't we just try to make this all work? You know? So it was kind of all of us made a decision, you know, and at the end of the day, they both know I'm never going to stop doing this. This is who I am.
Do they get along?
Yeah, they do. I mean, they have their little arguments, you know. The women are very cunning creatures, man, and it's hard for them to be around each other. But every now and then they'll have their couple words, but they love each other like sisters.
But they get jealous of each other?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, do they take it out on you?
Jennifer, mostly my Jennifer.
Yeah.
She's a little jealous, you know, and she acts out a little bit, but I mean, it's just a hard situation. I got to be understanding, you know. Now, they have to share me.
All right. Well, let's get real intimate. Is there a better sexual situation with one woman than another woman?
I mean, yeah. I mean, man, you put me on the spot, Maury. But anyway.
That's what we do.
I know the connection with Victoria is a lot stronger than with Jennifer. You know, me and Jennifer had a lot more problems than me and Victoria. So I guess you could say the emotional standpoint and you know, connection-wise, I lean more towards Victoria. But I love Jennifer the same. So, I mean, they both have their certain things, I guess.
And how are the sleeping arrangements at home?
So I sleep with Jennifer on my right side and Victoria on my left side.
Oh, no.
And
my Lord.
Most of the time, my girlfriend sleeps on my chest, too. So I'm kind of in a blanket of women at all times. I don't know what it is.
Oh, boy. Okay.
I mean, that's just my life. I told you, I'm addicted to women and fast cars.
And it's one big love fest, huh?
Yeah. We could just say that much. It's fun. It has its perks, I guess you could say.
I would say, I guess. I mean, if you can handle that. I mean,
so I have to drink my vitamins.
Most guys
and protein are mandatory.
Actually, do you ever wonder one day when they'll tell you, "We've had enough of this. We're out of here"?
I mean, that's crossed my mind.
Who's saying I'll never do that?
Victoria, I'll never do that.
You'll never leave him.
No.
And Jennifer has.
Yes, I have. And it's not because I don't love him. It's because I don't accept some of the women.
I mean, she's never really left me for me. She leaves me because of the other women. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's awkward.
But you bring the other women into her world.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. All right.
Guilty.
Yeah,
Sorry.
okay. But what we're really
But,
here for are 4 paternity test results, okay?
Yes.
So if you love this woman and you have all these other women, why would you have doubts about their children?
Because at some of these times, man, and especially with my oldest, Tatiana, and with Angel in this situation, man, I was on the road a lot. I had a trucking company. So I was out of state for a long time, you know, and just me in general, living the lifestyle that I live, you know, being with so many women. Man, I've had married women with me. I've had kids' mothers. You know, I know how women are. Some women are honest and truthful and loyal, and
Rocky,
most of them are not.
you're trying to tell me you have trust issues.
I mean,
They're the ones who should have trust issues.
Jennifer tells me that I'm the only man she's ever been with. It's hard for me to believe that.
That's one thing he cannot.
It's hard. It's really hard for me to believe that. As much as I want to, it's hard for me to believe that. So this is tell me if it is, if it's not.
I guess from all the trust issues, being with all these other women, he sees how all these other women are, how they leave their husbands just to come spend the night. No, I'm not that type of person. I was not raised like that. My mom was with my dad since she was 14. My dad passed when I was 8. It took her at least 10 years maybe to finally be with someone else. You know, that's just not who I am. I'm not out there trying to be adventurous. I'm not curious. I just want to be with him for the rest of my life.
Victoria, why are you asking for 3 paternity tests?
My questions mostly just come in because I wasn't supposed to have kids. I wasn't, my first one with him, which we won't name, but he spent over $40,000 to help me have kids. And all my kids are back to back. My oldest is 2015. My daughter Tatiana is 16. My son is 17, and my daughter's 2019. So they're all back to back. And I kind of, you know, I get that feeling, or I accept that knowledge of why he is the way he is, because he would only come and visit maybe once or twice a week, or a month, and then I wouldn't see him for a long period of time. I just want to have this test done where he realized that in this world there is some good women. There's not many at all, but there is a couple. And this will just take all of our arguments away, because, you know, this is the only thing, because he'll be like, what if? What if she grows up and I want to donate blood and I can't because she's not mine? What if? This would take away all them what ifs.
Do I get the feeling that the 2 of you want to be with him the rest of your lives?
Yes, sir. He's my soulmate. He's the love of my life. He's my king. He's my everything, and I just want him to know.
Like she just said, we fell in love with the same man. We adore him. We don't ever want to leave his side. Yes, I have left for our issues, but it's not that I don't love him. I want to grow old with him. I've always wanted to. This is just, I love him with my everything, with every piece of me. I love him. He's everything.
I waited years to be able to call him mine. I waited around 5 years until he was single to be able to call him mine. I'm not going nowhere.
We're going to start with Victoria, okay?
All right.
The results of 3 of her children. In the case of 4-year-old Tatiana, Rocky, you are the father.
I told you.
In the case of 2-year-old Lazaro, Rocky, you are the father. In the case of 1-year-old Ananda,
I told you, they're all yours.
Rocky, you are the father.
I told you.
Okay, now when it comes to Jennifer's Angel, in the case of 2-year-old Angel, Rocky, you are the father.
I told you. Now, can you be quiet about all this?
My bad. About that. Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to believe, man. And listen, man, this the truth. I have 2 women that would never do anything like that. I mean, it's just hard to believe. I had to be slapped with the truth. You know, I have 2 loyal women, and I love them dearly.
Rocky,
And I'm sorry for doing that to you guys, man. I'll never do it again.
I'm not going to say I condone your way of life, but I can tell you this. You have all these kids, and every one of these mothers say that you're a great father. So I give you great testimony to that, okay?
Yes, sir.
If you can be a great father to 10 kids, go with speed. You are not the father.